What's going on, everybody? This is Dan French. This is the French Workbench podcast here on a Tuesday. And, man, we're off and running here in the start of 2022, aren't we? Wow.
We're just festive, man.
We're very festive. We have a lot of people here in studio today. I want to go by and we'll go around and introduce everybody. But we have a special guest today. I'm going to talk with her. Her name is Wendy Pressler, and she's a business coach. We're going to talk to her about what she does. And we have a lot of good information. Like I said, we're going to have our full-on co-hosts that are here, right? And if you guys don't know about this channel, this is the most real and behind-the-scenes information regarding financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs. And guys, please hit that like button, smash it. And let's go around the room. So we got a great guest, actually a couple people we're going to introduce today. So Rick, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey, good evening. Good evening. Everything's great. How are you doing?
Good, man. So what did you do for New Year's? Anything happening?
Oh, of course. I have a one grandson whose birthday is on January 1st. So
wow.
we had a big birthday for him. And so
cool.
It was all good.
Yeah, man, New Year's is, it's different. Like I was like a little leery about going out because all I hear is the horror stories. First off, it was cold. Like I'm sure everybody here was cold, right? So it's like, I don't know if I want to go outside.
I've been hitting the gym in the morning at 23 degrees.
Oh, so, wow. What time do you hit the gym?
Usually about 3:30.
Oh,
3:30 to 4.
3:30 in the morning?
Dude, what time you get up?
No way.
About 3:15.
He does get, I thought it was more like 4:30. Damn,
well, no,
3?
I get there about 3:45, 4.
What time do you get up?
About 3:15. Yeah, you got to get it done early so I can get to the office and then make it here and make it a 16-hour day, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell you right now, I got stories, man. My grandfather used to wake up at 3, and the spouse, whoever that is, does not like that. You know what I mean? They wake up. It's like my mom, like my dad gets up real early. When my dad gets up, my mom's like, dude, go back to bed.
Dude, my wife
we don't want to.
My wife gets up at 3 o'clock every morning.
We're on different schedules. She doesn't go to sleep until midnight.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah.
So you guys don't see each other. It's almost like.
Do you remember he says the secret to being married?
Yeah. But keep in mind that in the office she sits 3 feet from me. So we do see each other.
Wow. Good morning, honey. Good morning.
And if you guys also, I want to go ahead and introduce. We have over here our special guest, and I want to introduce her because she's been waiting here. So we got Wendy Pressler. She's over here she's a business coach. So Wendy, explain to everybody who you are and how you got here. First off, I want to talk with you. So go ahead.
Well, I got here because you invited me.
Yes.
And by car.
And
by car.
Good call.
Yeah.
So I'm a master's certified coach through the International Coach Federation. And I have been coaching since 1992. Back when I was 5, I started.
Wow.
Nice.
You're 5. Woo. You said, how old were you?
I was 5, yeah.
Wow.
So you look a young 26.
Yeah. No, but coached part-time while I was in corporate America for about 15 years, and the last 15 years full-time.
Also, I want to introduce Sharon Miller. Shannon Miller. Shannon Miller.
Shannon.
I
It's
said
very Irish.
my fault.
Just reach over
Shannon
and
Miller.
Right here.
There you go.
Shannon Miller.
Yep.
How you doing today, Shannon?
I'm doing very well.
Thank you for coming in. How do you like the vibe in here, Shannon?
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Let's do this.
You
What
love
are we
it?
waiting for? I told you.
Time of her life.
Time of her life.
Okay,
So,
all right, don't push it.
so let's talk real quick. Okay, I know we're all just having a chat here, but let's talk with our guest of honor here, Wendy. And so Wendy is a business coach, and she's going to explain to us. First off, Wendy, I know you kind of explained how you got into it. What attracts you to helping people with business and coaching them, and kind of guide us into how somebody would get a hold of you and what they deal with?
Sure. So you can get a hold of me by going to my website, which is www.coachingbywendy.com. Under services, there is a free assessment. And once you fill that out, you get a link to schedule a time on my calendar. But how I got into it, was that your question?
Yeah, so like people want to know, like, why, first off, what is the purpose of a business coach? We all know a coach is like, you know, a lot of people have problems where they can't stay consistent in business. You know, they start off just like in working out. They start off, they're 2 or 3 months in, and they're starting to see results, but then they kind of tally off or fade away a little bit on some of the things they need to do. And I'm not saying you hold them accountable, but I'm saying, why would somebody need a coach? Because I think
I'm sure that's part of it.
Well, you get the results, but she's not going to somebody that's going to be babysitting these people, right?
Well, let me back up for a second. So a lot of people have a misconception regarding coaching because it's not currently a regulated industry. So 95% of the people out there calling themselves coaches printed a business card.
Gotcha.
They don't know what coaching is. They've never been trained and they're not credentialed.
Okay.
So what they're probably doing is consulting, which means coming in, assessing the situation, giving people advice, telling them what to do, not coaching.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
2 different things.
So as a coach, the intention is to create the goal. Spend the time figuring out what's
Gotcha.
in the way of you having the future that you're committed to having.
Okay.
So accountability is maybe 5% of it, but that's what I call babysitter coaching, facilitative coaching. It's really about ontological coaching, coaching you in how you're showing up on a daily basis, because there's the doing, there are the actions you know you need to take to achieve the goal. But then there's who are you being when you're taking those actions.
Okay.
If you know that you need to make 100 calls to hit your quota, but your head is somewhere else when you're making them,
Yep.
you're not going to hit the quota.
So are you basically setting up systems?
No, that's
No
consulting.
system? That's consulting.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So it's really an inquiry. It's like we're going on an exploratory journey together to figure out what's in the way of you having what you want. And I think when you look at goals, you really have to figure out, are these really the right goals? We're in the new year.
Yeah.
Are you having should goals that you've carried over from last year? I looked
Yeah.
up the stats for New Year's resolutions. So for last year, 50% said working out more, getting into better shape.
Sure.
48% said losing more weight. And then the next one came in at 46% said saving more money. And then it was, again, about fitness, the better eating choices, right? And then it went to things like achieving a new career goal, creating a new hobby, spending more time with my family.
How many of those people do you see or do you find falling off of the bandwagon? Because I've only been working out at the gym for 20 years, and come January 2nd, there's always 20 to 50% more people, and by
Yep.
March,
Yeah, it's
you're right
filled.
back to the same people that
No,
we've.
first 2 weeks of the
Well,
year, I don't
And
go to
then-
the gym.
Yeah, and then
Because
it
it's-
drops
Because
off.
you have to
Yeah.
you have to
Drops
change your
off.
lifestyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
So-
a
I don't go to the gym because it's full of wannabes.
So, well, not at 3:30 not at 4 in the
No,
morning.
Yeah.
But still, you still get a lot of
Jesus.
people in.
Yeah.
And so my question is this: is how many of those people stick with it? What percentage really find that coaching works for them?
Well, I think you have to distinguish between New Year's resolutions, which 95% of people have dropped them after 6 weeks.
They're not necessarily people who are serious about
Versus
goals
goals,
happening
right?
in life.
Goals setting.
Yeah, not to the point where they're going to hire someone.
What are
yeah.
your serious intentions? What do you really want to create in your life? And what are you willing to commit to? So with a coach, you're paying someone, and my coach tells me, make sure you're charging them enough that it hurts,
Yep, skin in the game.
right?
Yep.
So most business coaching clients stick around 12 to 18 months. So it doesn't matter if my client's a CEO or a entrepreneur, business owner, attorney, doctor.
You're helping them be the best of them that they want to be. and can be.
Exactly. It's about showing up as the best version of yourself on a very consistent basis, not letting anything take you out,
Yeah.
or on the rare occasion that something does take you out, being able to get right back up
Yeah.
there immediately. So you're basically unstoppable. And once you get more advanced in your coaching career, it's really just about the listening. It's figuring out what it is about that person that's in the way. So each week, a client will show up to their coaching session with a specific request. Today, I want to accomplish X, right? And we take a look at, okay, so what is it about you that we need to address or resolve in order for this to happen?
New question.
Yep.
I'm assuming that it's, for the most part, you, as opposed to having a bunch of little Wendy coaches that you're the main cog. How many clients can you service at any one time?
20 clients at one time. I coach Monday through Thursday, 5 clients a day.
So is there a distinction between somebody that's that does really well with their business, like there's a certain mindset, versus somebody that just comes in and they're just getting started? What separates that usually for people?
I think it's a willingness to not think they know all the answers. So to keep learning
That's
and
a good
growing
point.
and developing You had asked me, Dan, earlier when we were speaking about, are there people really afraid of failing? Right?
Right.
So if you read really great book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks.
So good.
Isn't that
It's one
great?
of the best. Yeah.
So he talks about the upper limit problem. And the thing that has people not achieve their goals, where they stop themselves and self-sabotage, it's either they can't tolerate things going too well for too long, or they're afraid of being alone, or they're afraid of failing, or they're afraid of outshining other people.
Is there like an epiphany type position where people go into and like, I finally figured this out?
Well, I think in coaching, my clients are healthy, intelligent, resourceful people. They don't need to be fixed. If they need to be fixed, I'm referring them to a therapist.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But sometimes in a given coaching session, the light bulbs are going off, right? The epiphany moment. But it's about a particular situation. It's never like, ta-da, I've solved like life's,
Sure.
achieved nirvana, figured out the whole of life. So one of the things I do,
We didn't define gender.
so we can do leadership assessments to really figure out how people are doing in the areas that are most highly correlated to effective leadership
Okay.
and business performance. And what are the tendencies they have that are getting in the way of them being effective? So are they a control freak? Do they comply? Are they protecting themselves? Those aren't going to go well for a leader and somebody
Sure.
trying to achieve big business goals. And for somebody who is all task oriented and not paying attention to any of the relationships or how are the employees doing, that won't work well, right? So
Yeah.
employee retention these days, big problem, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Piggyback off of this that Wendy brought up is that one of the potential issues of these CEOs is keeping in contact with employees and how they're feeling and how that's going. How is all of this working from home interfering with that, keeping in touch with the employees? I mean, what are they trying to do on a corporate level to keep in touch?
Well, it's a brand new muscle to be built, right? So CEOs had a challenge in the corporate office if they were sitting in their pretty office and nobody kind of got in because they weren't relating. And now at one level, everybody's a square on a Zoom box. So you don't actually see the hierarchy. You don't see that the CEO has the office 10 times the size of the person in the
You're
cubicle.
not walking by it every day. It's not in front of you. Yeah.
Right? But a lot of people are either giving benefits to employees, giving gift cards for, going and buying snacks or, paying for the internet, all kinds of different at-home perks, and doing some smaller get-togethers outside of the house.
One of the things that I thought would happen, and this is back in 2019 when I was holding, when this first started, and I was holding my own office meetings, was that corporate America would quickly figure out that it's so much cheaper to have people at home, even if you're giving them these little perks, because your insurance goes down, the size of your buildings go down, your rent goes down, and in relationship to how much extra you can do in these small perks, they're saving gazillions. We had a couple of builders in here, and their perspective on the city building permits is just the opposite of them working at home. It's like pulling teeth to get them to do anything. They're busy watching Oprah and whatever else they're doing.
She's not on anymore.
I don't think that's a thing.
Is she-
That's
is
okay.
Oprah still on, Rick?
Maybe the
Rick's
Golden
still up on his daytime TV. Oprah retired like 15 years ago. We're not watching Oprah.
Days of our lives.
She's got her own network.
Magna PI.
Magna PI.
Days
Still
of
watching
Our
your
Lives.
Friends.
Yeah.
Golden Girls. I said Golden Girls.
Still watching your latest episode of Golden Girls, Rick?
Walk me through the process of somebody that would seek you out and like, what is the process for them to start working with you?
If someone wants to start working with me, they want to fill out the self-assessment on coachingbywendy.com. And then that will be submitted to me. They get a link to my online calendar, and we schedule a 30-minute consultation so we can figure out if it's a good fit. If it's not going to be a good fit, I can refer to other coaches that might be a better fit.
What would be a bad fit?
So if somebody comes to me and says, I want to find the love of my life,
Oh, God.
I can refer you to a relationship coach.
Yeah.
But if you come to me and say, I want to double my revenues next year, I want to have better communication with my team, I want to create a better culture in the organization so that people are more motivated, engaged, and not quitting, that's me. And then if they say, and I'd like to find the love of my life, great, we'll find that too.
But we're going to go over here to Rick Rains. And Rick Rains has got a lot of good information about property management that he wants to get into. Rick, is there anything new that's starting off at the beginning of this year? Do you have any stories?
Do I have any stories? No, not really.
You know what? I concur.
Right. I'll tell you what. He had
I'll tell you what, some bitch.
he had an epiphany when Oprah came on.
That was it. It's it's difficult. It really is. It's difficult to come up with some positive stories. And I don't want to. I really don't like
It's
going.
difficult to come with.
No, I don't like.
Dude, I love it.
I don't like going to the negative side. So,
Dude, I'm
The
all
dark
about
side.
the dark humor. Trust
Yeah.
me.
It's all about the dark side.
I know it's all about the dark side, but let me just touch on a couple of things. And again, this is what's kind of interesting, which I really didn't think was going to happen. But since last week, we went down in sales another 4.4%, and single families now are under 2,500
Wow.
from.
So do you guys think we're going to
What,
hit
like 4
2,000,
months?
right?
Dude, man, at the rate we're going, we're going to hit.
I think by
2,000.
tomorrow we'll be at 2,000. What do you think?
So, what, two weeks ago when we did it on a Saturday, from that Saturday to the following Tuesday, it dropped, 3.5%. And now
Yes.
we've dropped
Couple
another.
hundred.
4.
I mean, dude, remember when we were at like 3,500, we were freaking out. And now we're
Yeah.
Yeah,
1,000 less than that.
Yeah, we're 3,100. But
that's-
anyway, so I just wanted to touch base on that it hasn't turned around. That December is still haunting us. And again, in property management, which I've mentioned before, it usually doesn't turn around until the end of January.
Right.
Other than that, one of the things that I know Brett is not going to touch on is that there was an article that was put out about how much people think is required as a down payment in order to get a place. And when I was growing up, it was 20%. And there's a lot of people that believe that 20% is it. If you don't have it, you
don't qualify. You
Is
shouldn't
that
be
to
buying
buy
a
or-
house.
Is that to buy or rent?
to buy.
To buy,
And
yeah.
Right now, the national average is 13% for all homeowners.
Wow.
For down payment?
For down payment. And for first timers, it's on average 7%.
Wow.
And it can go as low as 3.5% depending on what program you're getting into. So basically what I'm trying to get at is if you're interested in buying, that 20% rule that your parents grew up with is pretty much out the window, and that the average is only 13%, and for first timers it's around 7%. So keep that in mind if you're interested in purchasing, and Brett would love to talk to you or Corinne about that.
Yep.
And the other thing I just wanted to touch on real quick is when you're going out to make an offer or to buy something, there's basically 5 things that you want to keep in mind. One is know your budget and get pre-approved if you're not paying cash. And that pre-approval is really huge because you're going to be up, depending on the price range, as Brett will bring up, depending on the price range, you're going to be up against cash buyers. You need to be able to move fast. You can't talk to the spouse for 3-4 days and expect to come back.
Be gone.
It's going to be gone. And that, again, that has to do with whether or not you're basically below 400,000 or you're above 400,000. Make sure that you go through a real estate professional. Make sure that you make a strong offer to begin with, because if you try and go in too low, you're guaranteed to be outbid by somebody else, and you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So, and the last thing is to be flexible, and it's unwise, especially if you're brand new, to waive the inspection contingency, because you could end up buying a house, getting the house, and then you're going to have so much more in expenses that you hadn't anticipated that you may not be able to either make it the way you want to, or it's going to be one of those, I forget what they're called when you just keep having to throw money at it. But
Money pit.
a money pit.
Yeah.
So you could end up with a money pit if you forego that inspection contingency. So keep those things in mind, and that's pretty much what I wanted to touch on. As far as property management, everything is status quo. It's very slow right now. If you want to get a place,
Have the
it's easy.
listings on the rentals on the market?
Actually,
gone down
what's
more?
interesting, the rentals on the market went down slightly. So that's contracting too. And
Well, that's good though. We needed some type of correction or reset a little bit.
But
just
remember,
to-
he said that it was going to slow down a little,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, and
But I
normally
mean-
it would for sales too. But we're
Listen, I got people that are looking for rentals though, and they're calling you on a daily basis, and they can't find anything out there. Why is that?
I have a friend like that.
it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pull the trigger. The last, the last one you sent me was a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And her parameters, and that's another thing. You got to be open on your parameters.
Right.
And her parameters were open enough that within a matter of a few minutes, I was able to send her 15 in the area.
Nice.
that she
Wow.
wanted. So,
See?
cool.
But if she sat on them for any length of time, they were probably all gone. She needed to get, and I told her that you
Yeah.
need to pull the trigger.
Hey, Rick, you know what, man? I appreciate you coming back on. And guys, we got a full stacked group of people that are going to be coming on. A lot of people on
Yeah.
that's going to come on here in 2022. Can you show me the guns really quick for 2022, Rick? Just real quick, buddy.
Rick, let's see them, man.
Let's see
Come
the
on.
guns.
I would
2020.
love
We got to
to.
start. Oh wow! You got to start off.
You guys
right.
want tickets to the gun show?
You got to
Oh my
start off right,
gosh.
man. So let's go back to Rick because we got to end the show. How does somebody get a hold of you, Rick?
Atlas Group LC, and the phone number is 702-916-2200, and our website is www.property-mgmt.com.
Call now. Excellent. Guys, thank you so much. This is our first show. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Also, if you guys have any comments for any of us.
First show of the new year.
First show of the new year.
He said first show.
First show
Damn, we're
ever.
pretty good for first show ever.
First show ever. I mean, we're good like that. So, but you guys, if
Naturals.
you guys have any questions, this is the most real behind the scenes information regarding financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs going on here in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Dan French, and we will see you guys at the next stream.